Hello, year 4. We're going to have a fascinating day talking about informational writing. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, hopefully we just blew your mind. So now we're going to talk about brainstorming when it comes to informational writing. How you brainstorm? First, you got to think about the things that you are good at. Maybe things that you know a lot about. Maybe they're your hobbies. Maybe they're passions and interests. You're going to come up with a list of things that you know a lot about. Let's try it. For example, I'll give you mine. Okay, now here's my list of things that I know about. I know about stamps. I collect and I love stamps. I know a lot about Seattle. I am from Seattle, born and raised. I know about jewelry, different types of stones. I know a lot about art and artists and different types of art. And pirates. Aye, matey. I know a lot about pirates and insects. And I also know a lot about bats. Ooh, yeah, bats, that's it. And survival in the wilderness. And last, I know a lot about Roman coins. That's my list. Okay, now by looking at my list, these are probably topics that I could write an informational writing piece on. Maybe make a brochure, a book, something. So now I'm thinking, okay, if I pick one of these, can I be able to talk about it for 2 minutes? If I cannot speak about this topic for 2 minutes, I probably need to go pick another one. So think about something that you have on your list, talk about it for 2 minutes, and if that's something that comes really easy, that would be a great thing to write about. Hello, year 4 students. Now we've been talking about informational writing, nonfiction writing, so I'm going to talk about an informational text on a topic that you all should know about. Can you guess what it is? Let me help you. Correct. Hong Kong. I'm going to give you an example of informational text on Hong Kong. Let's get started, guys. Now the second step is really quite a lot of fun. It's creating a table of contents. Those are the subtopics. So the subtopics I'm thinking of Hong Kong are things that I really know quite a lot about. Maybe the nature, maybe hiking in Hong Kong, the food, the wet markets or the markets as a whole, maybe transport in Hong Kong. So I'm going to think of all the different categories of topics that I could do of Hong Kong and then create that into a table of contents. And then I will show you now what my table of contents will look like. Okay, hey year 4, now you've made a list of things that you think you're a bit of an expert at or very knowledgeable about. And you made that list and you've picked one of those things on that list. I just quickly wanted to show you an example of Nicola's in 4C. She did a great job making a list of things that she knew a little bit about and wanted to research more about. So this is just one example of the way of doing it. You see it, I picked Hong Kong, and then I picked some subtopics or smaller topics about Hong Kong. That was preparing me for creating my table of contents. So now I have my table of contents, which is first Hong Kong with food, with transportation, natural environment, all these different things are my subtopics or my table of contents. Best thing to do after you've created your table of contents is then for each page of your table of contents, or you might have maybe 1 or 2 more pages. If you're making a brochure, might be a section of the brochure. But for me, I'm going to make a book. So I'm going to have 1 page be reserved for the food in Hong Kong. I'm going to have the next one be reserved for maybe the markets in Hong Kong. Outdoor activities in Hong Kong, transportation in Hong Kong, and day trips in Hong Kong. So I'm going to have an informational book on Hong Kong with all these subtopics, and those subtopics are also going to be in my table of contents. Topic. So if I'm going to write about the food in Hong Kong, I might write about something about the dim sum and how dim sum works, and how you share it with other people, and then you get it from maybe a little trolley from a lady who comes walking by and pushes it. This is all new to a lot of people that live in different parts of the world, so they might be very interested in it. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, students, so now we're working on our table of contents. So yes, here's our table of contents. First thing I'm going to do with my table of contents in Hong Kong is I'm going to have the first page be on food. So I made a little bullet point, food, a dash line to the page number, because I'm going to just have one page number be about food in Hong Kong. The second topic in my table of contents I'm going to show is transportation. So here's my transportation. That'll be on page 2. And then I'm going to talk about markets. Really fun. I'm going to talk about different markets in Hong Kong. So you see how I had the different parts here with the page numbers and the dashes showing where it's going, and each one is the bullet point. Then after markets, I'm going to talk about day trips. Awesome! Party! Day trips! And I made a little beach just to kind of liven up my little table of contents a little bit. So there you go. Table of contents. Day trips! And the last one I'm going to talk about is the nature in Hong Kong, because there's so many cool things to do in the nature of Hong Kong, Hong Kong's nature, sorry. For example, hiking. Hong Kong is covered about 80% of green land. There's tons of wild boar animals to see. So here is my table of contents. So that is what you're going to be working on. And then after you do your table of contents, then let me show you how I'm going to further go into more detail of one of the subtopics, like food. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm doing my food in Hong Kong. I've written all the information I know about food. So I talked about the street food, as it's ready-to-eat snacks and drinks sold by hawkers and vendors in food stalls. The food includes egg tarts, fish balls, egg waffles, and stinky tofu. Yep, that stinky tofu you can smell like 2 blocks away. And I wrote down all the different information about the different, where you can find street food, what dim sum is, what's in dim sum, when people come together usually to have dim sum on Sundays and talk about things with their families, read the newspaper. Then I've done all this information. Now, what are you going to do with all this information? Let me show you. I'm so excited. Now I'm going to, later on, after I've done all that information, I will do a page of all the information I have, and I will make it look really nice and organized. So the title will be up on top. Maybe I'll do dim sum in a little bubble right here, and I'll create some little picture or visual to go with it and make it nice. Then I'm talking about street food also when I'm talking about Hong Kong. So there's my information on street food. I've covered some different nice little bits of street food, and since I got some space there, I'm going to put a fun fact. And fun fact is just anything kind of random. Maybe you're not going to do a whole page on it. So I just did a fun fact on Hong Kong boasts the world's longest covered escalator. So that's just a little fun fact. So here is an example of a page that I did of food in Hong Kong. First, though, I did title, bullet points of different information, did all my research, and then after I've done my research, I took all that research and made it into a beautiful page. You're going to be doing that with every different page that you have in your table of contents. This is just my first page, food. But I also will include transportation, markets, day trips, and nature. I will do that for each topic. So, have fun. I'm going to show you some examples of different informational writing in the end of this video. And that is basically what we will be doing for the next few weeks. I'm so excited. We'll go into more detail later, but stay tuned. Well, thanks for watching the video. I hope you know a lot more about informational writing now, and go and have fun, explore something you know a lot about or something that you want to know a lot more about, and enjoy. Make it creative, make it colorful, make it beautiful. Go, you 4!